Are you wondering which banks are accepting PPP applications? In this video, we'll look at some of the biggest lenders we know that are participating in PPP Round 2, as well as ways you can find a PPP lender if you aren't a customer of one of these banks. Stay tuned. Here are 5 large national banks offering PPP loans. All of these banks are confirmed as participating in PPP Round 2, but do note that while the second round of PPP is already partially open for community lenders, the start date for national lenders isn't yet known, at least not at the very moment that I'm filming this. But anyways, back to the banks. First up is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is one of the more accessible big lenders in the country. They made over 185,000 PPP loans in 2020. Now, Wells Fargo did catch a lot of heat last year for the bungled rollout of its PPP application, which had closed before many borrowers were even able to apply. Nevertheless, Wells Fargo will be taking applications when the SBA begins processing requests. It's promising a smoother and more orderly application experience this time around. Next is Chase Bank. Chase will be lending again for Round 2, but there's an important catch. Chase Bank will only be accepting applications from businesses that have an active business checking account or that open one. Chase does caution that applicants who don't currently have a business checking account should expect a delay of up to 10 days between the time their account opens and the point at which they're allowed to apply for a PPP loan. This may make Chase a suboptimal choice for many borrowers. If you don't have an account and you do want to apply through Chase, you should open that business checking account as soon as possible. Now, let's look at Bank of America. Bank of America underwrote more PPP loans in Round 1 than any other lender, leading the pack with 343,000 loans. As the bank clearly has the capacity to successfully process a large number of PPP loans and operates a lot of locations throughout the country, Bank of America may be one of the better bets for businesses that are worried about getting lost in the shuffle. Another option is US Bank. In many parts of the country, US Bank is the biggest game in town. In cities like Cincinnati, for example, US Bank made the most PPP loans of any nationwide brand. Now nationally, they made just over 100,000 PPP loans in 2020. US Bank has confirmed that it will begin processing Round 2 PPP loans as soon as the SBA makes the program available to banks of its size, making it a good fallback PPP lender for many businesses that don't have a connection to a community lender. And then there's PNC Bank. PNC Bank has stated that they will begin accepting applications for Round 2 PPP as soon as the SBA makes the program available to large lending institutions. Note that PNC's application process for PPP loans will be entirely digital. In fact, they go out of their way to ask customers not to complete the SBA paper application for a PPP loan. If you're not a current customer of a bank that's participating in Round 2 of PPP, you may rightfully worry about where your application will land in the queue. One way to hedge your bets is to use a loan aggregator to push your application to one of the many lenders that make up its partner base. Fintechs, aka online lenders, accounted for the third most PPP loans in Round 1, just behind credit unions. These companies generally pride themselves on making applications as easy as possible, and since this is a regulated SBA program, most of the cautions that we would normally issue around using a fintech lender, like the higher rates, don't apply here. So some aggregator options include Lendio and Smartbiz. I mentioned these two in our other video about online PPP lenders. Check it out. Leave your questions in the comments, and good luck.